What's up, y'all? I'm back. Like I never left. Nah, I am coming to you with another video talking about triggers. Triggers. So I have been using that term quite frequently, and I decided to talk on it. I believe that triggers arise from your environment, your past. It could be your childhood, it could be events that happen to you that cause you to react in a manner where it's obviously negative. I don't believe triggers are good. Triggers is sometimes very hard to even let go of in the moment when you feel it. It's like if someone does something to you and it puts you in a place where you think of something that happened to you traumatic, or it just didn't make you feel good internally. So triggers, that is something I deal with time to time. And another thing I learned is that we can't expect people to heal from our triggers. We can't expect people to help us heal from our triggers. We have to do the work on our own. I have triggers, and I'll just, every time when I talk on a topic, I'm gonna make sure I revert it back to myself, so you guys can have a glimpse of what I deal with. And it's not necessarily just a person. Sometimes, yeah, actually it is people can say little things and they may not know in the moment when they say something or do something that it can take me back in a place that gets me really angry internally. So yeah, so one of my triggers is someone bringing up a past of something I did, and I didn't, I think I don't know if I healed from it. Well, actually I did, because I realized that I had to forgive, and I even had a dream about it, me forgiving the person. But when certain people used to bring stuff up, or they will bring up something and they're not talking to me, but it seems like they're talking about the situation, it triggers me to react. Like, I either get mad, and they probably don't know why I'm getting mad at that moment, and sometimes I think they do know, because yeah, you have to be there to obviously know why I'm feeling that way, but only I would know. And then it makes me just not want to be around them, or yeah. So I don't know if that was a good example of a trigger, but I would just say it's something personal. But I do know that when it used to be brought up, it used to put me back in a place of when it actually happened in a moment, and I know I have to go to my grave with it. I think when someone tells me I can't do something or make it seem like I'm not good enough, and know if I'm, it makes me feel that way. Not saying they're not saying I'm not good enough, but I believe, like, if you tell me something about my physical, or just say something about, let's, like, oh, you can't dress or something of that sort, I'll make sure, even though I'll be probably hurt, I'll make sure I'm not gonna come back because of them, but I know, I'm like, listen, I know I look good. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna hold you to that. And anything, matter of fact, anything. If you can't tell me I can't do something, or this don't make sense, I'm gonna make sure I come back some way and do it. But not to prove them wrong. It's more to say, like, who are you to doubt or say how I look or what I can't do It's, don't get me wrong, I'm gonna feel hurt. But then there's the other side of me that's gonna be like, you got me messed up, all right? I can't curse on here, so I'm not gonna say what I really want to say, but you got me messed up. Do not doubt me. Okay. Oh, no, nobody says that no more. Sorry, Cardi B. But yeah. So I believe that if you know that you're about to have a trigger, or if someone is doing something that reminds you of your past, or whatever it is that triggers you, let me just say that triggers can lead to irrational behavior. It can make you flare up, especially like if you're holding it in for so long, like whatever you're feeling, and you're holding it for so long, and it builds up, and it goes back to communication. If you're not talking about it with the person, letting them know how you're feeling about it, and you just letting it build up like a big ball, that's obviously triggering you, and you're gonna blow up, and then it's gonna lead to something you don't want it to be. Or sometimes people say, hey, you gotta let it out however you can, whether you have to fight it out, etc. I don't always believe they'll fight. Well, I don't know, I can't speak for everyone else, so I can only speak for me. You have to be careful with your triggers, and I believe the only way you can heal from triggers is if you let the person know, or you have to keep working at it, because not everybody's going to tolerate when you have these triggers. Not everybody can tolerate it. Sometimes people like to push your buttons. I know sometimes I push people's buttons as well, but sometimes I look at it like, why is this person so triggered about that when there's so many bigger things people argue about? But I realize, I say this, what might be small to me may be big to you, and what might be big to me might be small for you. So I can only speak on myself, like I said, and triggers is very triggers are interesting. I'm learning as well what other stuff trigger me. I know other things that trigger me, but I don't want to say. I just, sometimes people can view you as weak, especially if they know you have triggers. And sometimes I'm talking about like some outside people. They might not know you, and they could save somebody to just keep saying things to you, and they don't know that trigger you. Stranger, well, somebody don't know you that long, and you just have to understand that your triggers you have to deal with, because we're okay, dog, respect my. But yeah, so I would like for any of you who watch this video, take the time to watch my videos, to tell me what's your trigger. Or you don't share your triggers, you don't have to say it, but I would like you to. Even if you just give one example, or just give a feedback on, give me a feedback on what you believe your triggers is and triggers are. And what do you think triggers are to you? How can you heal from it? How can you better yourself when it comes to having these triggers? What do you do in order to deal with those triggers when it comes about? Okay? So, catch me on the next episode of Living. I'm loving with Livy. Peace. Oh, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment if you can. You ain't doing that right now. If you looking at me, you can do those things. It don't take that long. All right? Peace, light, love, and blessings, y'all.